Willie D Live.
What's up, family? 28-year-old Monique Scott called the Lauderhill Police Department in Florida. Before hanging up the phone, she failed to give her name. None of that really mattered because just a few minutes later, after the police arrived, in fact, within 5 minutes, Monique was dead. Dead from the gunshots of the police officer who supposedly was there to assist her. Now, we don't know exactly why she called the police. That hasn't been determined, or that information has not been released. We do know that the police said that Monique charged the officer with a knife. Allegedly, the officer came to her house, knocked on the door. There was no answer. He walked around the building, his apartment building, and he saw Monique. She's approaching him. She got a knife, and he's telling her to stop. She continues to walk toward him. He opens fire, lets off 3 shots. Guns are down. She dies later at the hospital. All right, fam. Just off the information you got right there, just off that information. Was the police officer right to murder her? To be clear, Monique was walking toward the officer damn near in slow motion. She did not charge him. She walked toward him. Now, keep this in mind, fam. The media was saying she charged him. They went strictly off the information the officer gave them. But even after they saw the video, the newscasters still, the local news people, they still used the word charged him with the knife. And the Lauderhill Police Department said, in an effort to show complete transparency, we're releasing the footage. Sure. You're releasing the footage because you know you got your good kill. You know that she failed to adhere to the commands of the officer, and she had a knife on her. She was walking toward him. Whether she was running toward him or walking toward him, you felt like the officer was justified in murdering her. Fam, I know I'm not a cop, but if I was, I just cannot see killing people that easily. Man, you ain't got no goddamn skills where you that damn scared of a woman walking towards you with a knife. You got a taser on your hip, you got a gun on your hip. She walking damn near in slow motion. She walking like Andre the Giant. Basically stalking you. You can't just move your ass out the way. You can't move your scary ass out the way. You just got to kill the woman. You just got to shoot her 3 times. You just had to take her out. You couldn't incapacitate her. You just couldn't just maybe, shoot her maybe in the leg or something, or just shoot one time, just once. Once would have been enough to down her. Because when he hit her the first time, that was it anyway. So he just got to keep shooting, Obviously, they trained them to do that. They trained them to kill, because from what I understand, if there's a lawsuit, it's easier to pay a check. It's cheaper, rather, to pay a check to somebody who's dead than to have to continue to pay for the rest of their life when you mess them up, when you paralyze them or whatever. You give them one of those injuries that they can't get rid of. So, and another reason why they kill is because dead men don't talk. Dead women don't talk. You got a one-sided story. I don't see how people do that, fam. I don't see how. These are subhumans who behave like this. You got to be a subhuman to think so little of human life. The woman obviously needed some type of medical attention. She's walking toward a police officer with a knife. A uniformed police officer. She's walking toward a uniformed police officer with a knife. Every single person on this planet who would see something like that going on would say, something's wrong with her. She's off. Why kill the woman? He didn't have to kill that woman. I know for a fact he didn't have to kill that woman. If he felt so damn threatened that he couldn't get out of the way, why not just tase her? Why not just tase the woman? She dropped the knife, you go in, you make the arrest. But you just got to kill her. A lot of these cops, man, they're bloodthirsty. He saw a target. That's all he saw. He didn't even see her as a human being. He saw a target. And he pointed his weapon, squeezed off, and he killed her like he's trained to do. I get it, fam. Cops got to make it home. We trying to make it home to our family. So your family is more important than her family? Your family is more important than our family, my family? Everybody trying to make it home. Why not preserve life and make it your duty, because it's supposed to be part of your duty, to make sure she make it back home too? She was just feet away from her doorstep. Why not? Man, why not preserve life, man? He did not have to kill that woman. Now I get it. I know a lot of y'all saying, well, what you expect to happen? Walk up to the police with a knife. You know what I'm saying? That's suicide, man. You know what you expect. Compassion. Compassion. The same thing that they expect. Compassion. You ever notice how when the police get killed, the world stops? All of the cops come out. They lining the streets, cars everywhere, cars coming from all nearby counties. Some of them coming from out of state. They pulling up at the hospital. They're crying. They're talking about how great of a guy this guy was and the family he's left behind and all of these things. That's really the only time you really see. In most cases, that's the only time you really see them having compassion, when it's for each other. When it's for the other boys in blue or brown or whatever they got on. That's cold-blooded, fam. He didn't have to kill that woman. He did not have to kill that woman. The department did not identify the officer in the video. But he reportedly had worked for the department for 3 years. 3 years he worked for the department, and he haven't had enough experience to know when he's answering a mental case, when he's being approached by someone who's mentally off. He just couldn't figure that out. You can listen to how people talk, fam, and know that they're off. Or how people don't talk. Some people don't even communicate. They're just looking at you crazy. You know they're off. Why not step back and call for backup? Why not just, why do they so often have to play judge, jury, and executioner? If I was the damn judge and if I was the damn prosecutors, I would feel some type of way about that. Man, let me do my job. It's not your job to decide right there, then and there, what a person's sentence should be. It should not be your job to decide what their punishment should be. If they've committed a crime, it is your job to make an arrest, to determine if a crime was committed. Then you make an arrest. But it's not your job to punish people. And a lot of these cops have decided that's their job too. Their job is to take the law into their own hands right then and there. Their job is to bring the person to justice, to make the arrest and get that person in the system so that they can go through the proper procedures of fighting a case, dealing with a case or whatever. That's their job. Get them to the jailhouse and then let the system take over from there. But a lot of these cops are playing judge, jury, and executioner. And when it happens the other way around, now all of a sudden, they see how things should have been different, how the perpetrator should have did something different. But when the shoe is on the other foot, all they know is go. All they know is kill, kill, kill. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. How about we all just treat people the way we want to be treated? How about when you watching these videos that you think of others? Put your loved ones in the exact same position of the person who gets gunned down. Don't just put yourself in the position of the officer, because that's what a lot of y'all do. And well, the police officer, the officer, officer got to get on me, officer, I'm with the officer, officer. Yeah, well, we know why the ones that do that, we know why y'all do that. We know why. R.I.P. Monique Scott. No more talk.